Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh boy, I'm excited about today's video. A big surprise showed up on my doorstep just yesterday from my favorite brand, Sydney Grace. They sent me 2 new releases that they have coming up on the 27th. These look amazing. I am so excited to share them with you guys. I'll be honest, I've already used them. I couldn't even wait a day to open these, but I'm going to share them with you guys today. There's a face palette and an eyeshadow palette. Let me flash a quick sneak peek for you guys. They are stunning. We're going to put these on today, the face palette and the eyeshadow palette. I'm hoping that we have time to do 2 looks. This color story is too pretty not to do 2 different looks. Hope you like your pinks. Sydney Grace does pinks better than anyone else in my opinion. Needless to say, this one's gonna be fun, at least for me. But before we get into the eyeshadow palette and the face palette, I wanna give any of you that are new here a special welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Hope that you enjoy this one, and I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure your notifications are turned on. And with that said, let's dive right in. Okay, so as I mentioned, these came to my house, was it yesterday? What is today? No, Monday. Today's Wednesday. These came to my house on Monday afternoon. I immediately opened them up and started swatching them, and on Tuesday morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. to do my workout. Did I do my workout? No, I came into my makeup room and played with these beautiful little palettes instead. Who does that? You guys know how much I love Sydney Grace. The palette, the eyeshadow palette looks beautiful. We'll get into these in detail in just a sec, but I was so excited to see them release a face palette. I talk about their eyeshadow palettes all the time, but their face products are also, they're equally as amazing. Their highlighters, their bronzers, and their blushes. In fact, I have this empty palette right here. All the larger pans are Sydney Grace highlighters and blushes. Mostly I think I have one bronzer in here as well, and they are stunning. So excited to see them release this thing right here. So they sent me the light version. These do come in a light, medium, and a deep version, which I think is so genius. So let's kick it off with the face palette. We're gonna apply this, but first let me insert a close-up for you guys. So this palette will come out on the 27th of March. That is Monday the 27th at 9 a.m. It is going to be $28. I think this is worth every penny. I actually think that the Sydney Grace blushes remind me of the formula of Pat McGrath's. They're so beautiful. Summer shimmery, summer matte. Here's a close-up of the swatches for you guys. You can see that you get this beautiful kind of pink-toned champagne highlight, a really nice bronzer. There's a cooler-toned matte blush, and then a warmer pink blush that's a little bit deeper. And that one does have some shimmer in it. I've just used these combined. Again, I've only had this for like a day. It looks great during my workout. We're gonna try and play with it today though. So let's start off in this bronzer right here. So I'm gonna take that on the Sydney Grace, this large powder brush. This is pretty pigmented. You don't need to dip in too heavily. In fact, I may have gone in a little bit heavy. That's okay. We're gonna start applying that there. So I do already have the rest of my makeup on. I will link for you guys. Sorry, let me pin these up. I know this bugs you guys, but it also bugs me when I'm editing and I forget to pin up my little tendrils of hair. Why do I even leave these down? I just feel like if I don't frame my face with something, I'm not Ellie Glines. I don't look good with like nothing framing my face. I need some hair down on the side. That was not a dig at Ellie. I'm just a little jealous. She's beautiful. Okay. It's really nice and warm. I actually think $28 is a great price. I think that individually, oh gosh, I can't remember. I'll link it for you guys right here. I actually don't have my phone down here with me, which is crazy. Who doesn't carry their phone with them? But I think the individuals of these blushes and highlighters and bronzers are usually like $14 a piece. I could be wrong on that. I will correct myself right here. But if that's the case, I mean, you get 4 in here rather than just 2 for $28. All right, let's add a little bit of blush next. This is so tricky. I haven't used these individually yet. Oh, I wonder if I should. Look how they're very different. Actually, let's just for today, I want to mix these. I feel like this one's going to be a little too cool toned. This one may be a little bit too shimmery and warm. I love them combined. I actually love mixing my Pat McGrath blushes together as well. Again, these are kind of pigmented, so you don't need to build too much into your brush, but they are so pretty. We are headed out of town here shortly, going to Mesquite, Nevada for my 12-year-old son's first baseball tournament of the season. And I think this palette might come with me, this base palette. So beautiful. Let's add a little bit of that highlighter. This is the shade Day Glow right here. By the way, the blushes, we have Love Struck and Sweet Pea. Really pretty, kind of icy pink. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Ofra Samantha March highlighter. Very reflective. All right, let's jump over to the eyeshadow palette. So this is called the Unbreakable Bond eyeshadow palette. There are 16 shades inside here. You guys, the Sydney Grace eyeshadow pans, I feel like they hold more shadow than other pans of similar sizes. I might not be right about that, but if you fill these, they are like overfilled. You get so much product in these. I guess I could do some math. Maybe I'll link for you guys right here, like how much is in each pan, in case that detail is important to you. So this palette will also be released on Monday the 27th at 9 a.m. It is going to be $56, and this one comes in a light version and a deep version as well. I have the light version. Here is a close-up of the palette along with some swatches. Look at these swatches. I say this every time, but Sydney Grace eyeshadows swatch better, both matte and shimmer, than any other eyeshadow palettes in my collection. They are just so rich and pigmented. I absolutely love them. So I put on a pink shirt because I really want to try out some of these pinks today, but I think that I can squeeze in doing 2 looks with this palette. So I want to start doing like a more blue kind of silvery look, and then we'll wash that off and come back and do a pink look to send me off for the day. So let's just start right here. We're gonna go into this shade right here, which is Dusty Trails. I do already have some eyeshadow primer on, and I did powder it down just a little bit. This is just a mid-tone brown. It's not really warm or cool. I'd say maybe it leans a little bit more on the cool side. That went on so quick. I'm gonna take this smaller fluffy brush, same shade. We're just gonna go into the edge of the brush and run this under the lower lash line. I don't want it too precise though, because we're also gonna put the navy down there. So this one's gonna go a little bit lower, and will probably look a little bit crazy initially. All right, let's take this shade, Indiana Love. I wanna start building up the depth in the outer corner. To do that, let's take this tiny little blending brush, also from Sydney Grace. Tap it into this shade, Indiana Love. This is such a pretty blue. It's very blue, but it has quite a bit of depth to it. So it's, I don't know, it's not like obnoxiously blue. I'm not too worried about the blend of this one because we're gonna go over most of this shade with the shimmery blue right there, not there, there. Okay, so that's about 2 dips, and then I'm gonna take what's left on the brush and what's here at my outer corner and pull it very lightly down below. Back to that mid-sized blending brush. There's nothing on here. I just want to go around the front edge and just right over this top edge. I'm trying not to press too hard because I don't want to pull that blue up too high. Just very lightly dusting it over the edge so it's not harsh. Wipe it off in between. Don't want to move this blue around too much. If you get crazy with your blending brush with a shadow this dark and rich and pigmented, things will get very muddy and messy looking very quickly. So use a light hand. Have a dry, clean rag on hand to wipe your brush off in between. Okay, there we go. Let's add some shimmer. I'm gonna go into this, again, the mirror image thing totally throws me off. This shade right here, which is Shaylee's Shimmer. So pretty. Look at that, you guys. It's like a blue, but it has a bit of like silver, kind of steeliness to it that makes it kind of interesting and a little bit more wearable, in my opinion. I mean, it's still blue, but we're gonna go over this with some silver, and it's gonna make it just right. Probably not my like grocery shopping eye look, this one right here. But if you don't mind doing something a little different for a date night, this is the kind of look I would love to do for like a date night in the dark. I don't know, theater. Anyone attend the theater on a regular basis? We actually have a really good theater in Salt Lake City. It's not something we do very often though. Okay, now let's go into the front of the lid with this shade. This is one of my favorites from Sydney Grace. It's Tiara. Really beautiful, kind of pewtery sort of silver. So pretty, so reflective. I mean, this is like liquid metal. We're gonna overlap that blue with the pewter shade. Take a look at that, guys. Wow. Okay, last thing I want to do is this shade right here. Is the shade Mama. This is basically, oh gosh, what would I call this? It's like a pinky cream. It actually looks like what I would consider a setting powder for someone like me. It is a matte, but it's very pigmented. I want to try putting this on this inner corner right here. This isn't necessarily gonna like be like an inner corner shade. I actually kind of wish that there was an icy shimmer in here. This one's pretty, but it's very, very pink. It's almost duochrome like, this pink right here. I just feel like with any look, it's nice to have a staple champagne or a staple like white or icy shade. This one's not bad. It just is a little bit more kind of pink fleshy tone than I would like. I would love something just bright white. See how that's kind of like turning purple. It's not really brightening things up. Okay, I am gonna cheat just a smidge. We're gonna go over to the face palette. I'm gonna use the shimmer in here. I just feel like it's the only shimmer that's gonna give me the brightness I feel like I need because this is so smoky. Most people could stop right here. I can't seem to do it. I have to have some shimmer and some brightness on my inner corner or it just doesn't feel right to me. All right, last thing I want to do is go back to that navy blue. I'm going to take that very small smudge brush once again. I'm just going to build up a little bit more right at the lash line. This is going to be my liner for today. Just want to pull back a tiny bit of that depth right by the lashes. Wow, okay, let's add some mascara. I'm going to throw on a couple coats of my Pat McGrath mascara and then I will show you guys the finished look. All right, here is the finished blue silver smoky eye look. I think this is beautiful. As someone that is very afraid of blue eyeshadow, this is a blue look that I can wear because it's kind of more silver than it is blue. I don't even know if I'd say silver. It's like a gunmetal-y color. It's so, so pretty. I love this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I'm gonna go wash this one off now and then we will come back with look number 2. All right, we're back. Let's move into look number 2. I zoomed you guys in just a little bit. I always forget to do that. I'm sorry about that. So let's start off in this pink right here. This is Adore Me. I do already own this pink. It's such a good one. You do get a pretty good mix in here of kind of basic pinks and then some more peach toned pinks as well. We're gonna start with this one. It's a very soft, feminine, not overly bold or pigmented pink. Ooh, I should probably wipe that brush off. It is possible that had a little bit of blue left on it. Hang on. Such an amateur sometimes. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Beautiful soft pink color. Now let's take this tiny blending brush, same shade. We're just gonna run a little bit of that under the lower lash line. Right, now I want just a little pop of peach right here at this outer corner. So let's take that same brush that we used initially and we're gonna go to this shade right here. This is called Taylor's Girls. This is a very vibrant corally pink. Just want a pop of this right here. You guys will see this has a lot more punch to it. A little bit of orange in it. It's definitely pink. It just has kind of this like corally tone to it. There we go. All right, let's jump over to, let's go with this shade right here. This is Sun Poisoning. Sun Poisoning. That's kind of a funny name. Let's take this medium-sized blending brush, tap it in there, and this is gonna go right through the socket. Add a little bit of depth. And now we're gonna take this shimmer in the corner right here. This is called Sweater Weather. It's kind of a deep, kind of plum, shimmery plum. I'm just putting this on the outer half of the lid. And we're gonna pull something else to overlap that. So just right at the center mark. I wanna try to avoid this little section right here. We're gonna darken that up with some of that deep brown, like that plum, not plum. It's like a blackberry brown, that one, Porch Swing. All right, let's do that now. I'm gonna take that same medium blending brush. We're gonna go into Porch Swing just on the very edge. Build this up slowly right at the lash line and slightly feather it into that shimmer I just put down. Not doing too much, I'm just adding a little bit of depth right there. We can come back and blend it. I don't wanna overwork it quite yet though. Partly because my eyes are watering. Anytime I remove my makeup and immediately jump back in to put more on. My eyes are like, no, we can't take this. We are not 30 anymore, Mandy. We'll come back and maybe do a little bit more shaping and blending. Actually, let me grab my sponge and just make sure that line's nice and sharp. I actually might come back with a little bit more pink, kind of blend under that edge right there. But for now, let's finish off with the lid. There are so many pretty kind of peachy, bronzy shimmers in here, but I really want to show you guys this shade, which is Spring Fling. It's just gorgeous. It's a bright pink that has a bit of a blue sort of shift to it. So this is going to go all over the inner lid and overlap that mid-tone pink. That's looking great. I just want to add a little bit more pink to the lower lash line. So let's go back to the shade Adore Me right there. This time I'm going to take on that medium-sized blending brush. Actually, I might have used this one the first time. I can't remember. And just go underneath this outer corner and pull it down halfway across my lower lash line. Okay, and the last thing that I want to do, we're going to go with this smudge brush. We wipe it off really well. This one I put quite a bit of blue in. We are going to dip this into the shimmer, this kind of maroon colored shimmer, and run just a tiny bit of this under the outer like third of the lower lash line. And then, same brush, let's wipe it off a bit to go into the very dark shade Porch Swing. And this, I'm just gonna do one more little like liner flick right here. You could do this with an eyeliner. Today I'm just gonna use a powder. Going right where my lashes end and just kind of flicking it up. Okay, that looks pretty great. Let me put some mascara on. Let's go with my e.l.f. Lash and Roll. Then I'll come back and show you guys the final look. And here it is, guys. This is look number 2 finished. Look at that lid shimmer. Is that not just the prettiest color you've ever seen? If you like your pinks, I'm telling you, you are going to love this palette. It is beautiful. I haven't even played with everything yet, but with all these beautiful bronzes and pinks and those beautiful silvery blues, this might give the Enduring Love palette a run for its money. I'm not gonna make any statements officially yet, but this is really nice. I, of course, will keep playing with it, keep you guys updated, especially if I notice anything amiss. I don't expect to, but we shall see. Big thanks to Sydney Grace for sending these over. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. I hope that it was helpful. I will, of course, link both of these palettes down below in case you are interested. Again, they release on the 27th at 9 a.m. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. This was a fun one. Hope you enjoyed it too. Let me remind you one more time, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye. Just in time, the bus gets here in 10 minutes. That gives me 10 minutes to pack up my makeup and head to the desert. Nothing looks more desert than Mesquite, Nevada. It's beautiful down there though.